A special thank you to each of our subscribers who make this channel possible. Here's today's story. In a significant move reflecting international disapproval, Australia has joined Germany, Italy, New Zealand, and the United Kingdom in condemning Israel's Security Cabinet's recent decision to take control of Gaza City, a densely populated area that has suffered immense devastation due to ongoing military operations. The statement, issued by the Office of Australian Foreign Minister Penny Wong, articulated strong concerns that the proposed actions could violate human rights laws and exacerbate the already dire humanitarian crisis in the region. The joint statement warned that such a takeover would not only worsen the humanitarian situation, but also endanger the lives of hostages still held by Hamas and increase the likelihood of mass civilian displacement. The plans announced by the government of Israel risk violating international humanitarian law. Any attempts at annexation or settlement expansion are in direct violation of international law, the statement emphasized. The foreign ministers of these nations called for an immediate and permanent ceasefire, highlighting the alarming potential for famine in Gaza. They also urged Hamas to release the remaining hostages, emphasizing the need for a negotiated two-state solution as the only viable path to ensure peaceful coexistence for both Israelis and Palestinians. Prior to the Security Cabinet's meeting, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu had expressed intentions to reclaim control over Gaza City, with plans to eventually hand over authority to Arab forces opposed to Hamas. However, these plans appear to be facing internal resistance, particularly from Israel's military leadership, which has raised concerns about the risks involved, especially regarding the safety of the approximately 20 hostages believed to be alive. The ongoing military operations in Gaza City have resulted in significant destruction and loss of life, with reports indicating that more than 61,000 Palestinians have died since the conflict escalated following Hamas attack on October 7, 2023. The situation in Gaza has reached a critical point, with hundreds of thousands of residents having fled their homes under evacuation orders, only to return during temporary ceasefires. The humanitarian crisis continues to deepen, with experts warning that famine is unfolding in the territory as Israel's military campaign has severely disrupted food delivery efforts. The international community has increasingly voiced its concerns over the humanitarian implications of Israel's military actions, with a coalition of 28 Western-aligned nations, including some of Israel's closest allies, urging an end to the conflict. Notably, even former President Donald Trump, a staunch supporter of Israel, has expressed concern about the hunger crisis and has called for the return of hostages. Despite the mounting pressure, Israel has maintained its stance, asserting that it is doing everything possible to minimize civilian harm while blaming Hamas for the civilian casualties. Netanyahu has denied the existence of starvation in Gaza, despite overwhelming evidence and reports from humanitarian organizations. In a show of solidarity, Foreign Minister Wong and her counterparts from Germany, Italy, New Zealand, and the UK have reiterated their rejection of Israel's plans to escalate military operations in Gaza, emphasizing that such actions will only exacerbate the catastrophic humanitarian situation. Germany has even suspended arms sales to Israel that could be used in Gaza, reflecting the growing concern among European leaders about the potential for increased bloodshed. As the situation continues to evolve, the international community remains on high alert, advocating for a resolution that prioritizes human rights and the well-being of civilians caught in the crossfire. The call for a ceasefire and a diplomatic solution underscores the urgency of addressing the humanitarian crisis while also working towards a lasting peace in the region. The conflict has drawn global attention, with protests erupting in various cities, including Tel Aviv, where demonstrators have demanded action for the hostages and an end to military operations. The future of Gaza City and its residents hangs in the balance as the world watches closely, hoping for a resolution that can bring an end to the suffering and pave the way for a peaceful coexistence between Israelis and Palestinians. That's all for this story. We upload videos every day covering many different subjects, so hit that subscribe button to stay informed. Thanks for watching.